colleagues, my name is Dharmendra Singh.
And I am his brother, Jetendra Singh.
It's a pleasure for us to both be with you this morning to help celebrate your contributions as best leaders. Before we get into that though, we'd like to thank the Lord Mayor for joining us, and also Stephen Hughes, who's used to be with us. Councillor Roach, he was here for a while, so thanks to him as well. Jet, we'll stick with age before beauty for this one first, if that's all right.
Okay.
I joined the council at the age of 16 after a stint in the private sector. I started with the Adults and Communities Directorate, and I've been in that directorate ever since, albeit in different capacities. A defining moment for me, though, came in early 2009 when I discovered something called Generation Best. Now, Generation Best is a network of some of the most talented and forward-thinking employees who currently serve the council. It came about after Councillor Rudd actually recognised early on the benefits of the concept of developing our own. Using our core values, we all know them, but just to be a war on, we state them: belief, excellence, success and trust, as a foundation. Generation Best was formed to inject a fresh perspective into the council. It's remarkable to both Jess and myself how strong the network has become in a relatively short time. Membership has grown into hundreds, and we've conducted polls to see what members think of the network so far, and it's no surprise to us that a huge majority back the network 100%. Now, as with all great offers, people often think there's a catch attached. Well, with Generation Best, there simply isn't a catch. Not unless we count having a commitment to Best as a catch.
Absolutely. To join, you don't have to be young in age, young in terms of your career, or young at heart. But I would add you have to have an element of the change agent in you as well. If you're a member of Generation Best, by the way, membership is absolutely free. You are automatically offered and invited to an enviable range of high-profile opportunities. Now, I also joined the council at the tender age of 16. And I know what some of you here today may be thinking, last of the child labourers. I certainly didn't see it that way. If anything, I count myself as tremendously privileged that I, even at 21 years of age, have real, tangible experience of working in 3 different directorates. My proudest achievement to date, though, was when I was chosen by the former Strategic Director of Plan and Regeneration, the great Clyde Dutton, to become his apprentice. At the time, there were remarks saying that I was Ruth Badger to his Alan Sugar. Maybe they were right. I joined Clive at a special time because it was when he was jetting off to places such as Kuwait and Beijing to secure funds for our big city plan. It was my job to ensure that his presentations were persuasive enough to convince those movers and shakers to invest in the big city plan. It was also my job to respond to his media inquiries and promote the big city plan on any stage. Significantly though, and this is a crucial point, it was the best ethos that persuaded me that I could do the job. The best agenda said to me that if I believed in myself to be excellent, then I would succeed for the council, and that would allow colleagues to have trust in me to continue serving Birmingham.
Now, anyone who knows both Jess and myself know exactly what we're about. For us, there aren't many things which come above Birmingham. That's why we've both made it our business to succeed for the council. But we both realise that in order to give Birmingham our absolute all, and the council, we need the tools to be able to do so. Ladies and gents, Generation Best is our toolbox. I'll explain. Let's say you needed to amass some experience in, say, strategic thinking. Then you might apply through Generation Best to take part in the Local Government Challenge, a prestigious national competition, which sees teams from local authorities across the country compete to decide which can best manage a fictitious council, real-life tests. Jess and I have taken part in this. We found it a unique experience. Our teamwork was called Outstanding, and I was awarded 9.5 marks out of 10, even if I do say it myself, for my impromptu handling of a press conference with real-life press officers.
Or on the other hand, let's say you wanted some public speaking experience, perhaps to gain confidence in speaking to a highly judgmental, eagle-eyed crowd. Not mentioning any names, of course. Well, you would put your case forward to Generation Best to take part in the Young Local Authority of the Year programme, which will require you to research, write, and then present a paper or argument of your choosing. Now, Dharmendra and I did this, and in the process we managed to defend our title of Best Metropolitan Borough of the Year. Some of you may recall reading about this in the Inner Voice a few editions ago.
Two things made us particularly proud of this achievement. One was that we were the first in the competition's history to successfully defend the title. The other was that we won with the odds of doing so stacked very much against us, because the majority of competing councils all submitted more than one team, as we did the year before, in a bid, turned out to be a vain bid, but in a bid to secure success for their respective council. But in the end, Jet and I proved that securing success had nothing to do with maths. It was all to do with having belief in ourselves and trusting each other to win for Birmingham. Now that was an occasion where we were a tag team. But what many people don't know is that the previous year I took part in a public speaking competition for individuals, granted by Generation Best. Along with 25 other eager beavers from across the country, I was competing for the enviable title of Local Government Young Thinker of the Year. Now get this, although I came second in the event overall, I've always doubted the judges' decision for three reasons. They told me that never until then seen anyone present without notes. They called my presentation and paper flawless. And the lady who won in the end, who picked me to the post, was criticised for her performance in paper. You can tell I'm not bitter about it.
I think the truth is that my brother will never live that one down. But seriously, coming back to Generation Best, members also have the opportunity to meet with senior council officers to discuss council priorities. In reference to Stephen Hughes' management team, we are known as the Next Generation Corporate Management Team. But Dharmendra and I can reassure you all that this is no mere gimmick. We have debated business transformation ideas, including airports. We have discussed green issues with the head of climate change, Sandy Taylor. We have personally fed back to actual CMT meetings, and we have suggested ways of bringing our constituencies together. But there's another thing about Generation Best as well. We all know the word fun doesn't get bandied around all too often without people looking twice over their shoulders. But Generation Best is also a social network, which enables members to come together to celebrate life and themselves and each other in an environment fitting for such a purpose.
Now, some of you are best leaders, which means each and every one of you is distinguished in your own team. You're distinguished because you inspire and galvanise others into working more innovatively and cohesively. You're distinguished because you want working practices to be more in line with 21st century business. And you're distinguished because you strive to create and implement change, not just get caught up in it. Whether it's securing funds from our graduates for items which will improve the way teams work, or whether it's relaying experiences in a bid to inspire others to get those very same experiences, or whether it's sharing stories about how we've overcome difficulties, or whether it's coming together like we are this morning to celebrate our individual and collective achievements. I think there's a real sense that Best exists to help each and every one of us enhance our contributions.
Absolutely. So, if you class yourself as young in any sense of the word, and many people do nowadays, and you like the sound of many activities we've just outlined, there will be helping Generation Best coordinators to help you sign up today. Remember, membership is completely free and only offers things to you. It doesn't ask for anything in return other than a commitment to Best.
So to sum up the opportunities which await you if you sign up today: increased confidence, public speaking, political awareness, tailored learning and development, networking, charity events, engaging with teams and directorates from across the council. I think the Dragons by now have deliberated, so we'll hand back to them now.
Absolutely, but just before we do, it's just left for us to say a huge thank you for your ongoing endeavours for the council, and congratulations on continuing to do business for Birmingham. Enjoy the rest of the morning. After all, it's short. And thanks very much.